Well, as we get older, we sometimes have more trouble remembering things, and we may wonder at times, is it Alzheimer's or just normal aging? Well, we want to introduce you now to one woman who was diagnosed with Alzheimer's and is living well with the disease. Joining us now to tell us her story is Christine Burnett, as well as Kristen Casado from the Alzheimer's Association. Nice to see both of you ladies.
Thank you for having us.
Hello.
Of course. So before we get into your story, which by the way is very inspiring, Kristen, let's just talk about Alzheimer's and the disease. I said this in commercial break. People hear it. They think they know what it is. But in case you really don't know.
Exactly. It's a progressive brain disease. It actually affects memory and thinking and being able to do daily tasks. And there are about 80,000 people who are living with this disease. And when you get diagnosed, it's like a Mack truck hits your family, you and your family, and then you're like, what do I do? So we at the Alzheimer's Association are just very excited to be able to help people along and help people get back on the road. And Christine's an amazing example of, you know, I'm just going to take this disease head on.
You do great work, by the way.
They do.
And I understand that your story is unique in the way that you were caring for your mother. You are a caregiver who was diagnosed with Alzheimer's. And during your time, that's when you realized something was a little off or different with you?
Actually, my mom is the first person I've ever known who has any kind of cognitive trouble. My grandparents all passed away before I was really aware of that possibility. I'm not really a care partner for her in the truest sense of the word, as I see now with other people. As I've gone along my journey, I've met many, many people who are suffering with Alzheimer's disease and who are care partners for those who are. But I did spend a lot of time with her, and she is now 91 years old. She's been diagnosed for about 10, 12 years. She lives in assisted living, and I see her once a week, and we do fun things together. But when I saw the fact that she couldn't drive the way that she used to before, that she couldn't do paperwork the way that she used to before, that she was just confused about so many things, it really led me to think about what was going on in my own life. I was always a pretty smart person who suddenly couldn't do paperwork anymore. I was a special education teacher. I was the queen of paperwork in my school. When I retired, they gave me a button. Goodbye, queen of paperwork. But now I couldn't manage my daily things, and it started to bother me. So when I went to my annual wellness visit, you know, Medicare, you get an annual wellness visit. I said to the doctor, I'm concerned, and he says, oh, you know, and we did the regular tests. And I failed to draw a clock test, which to me was terrible because as a special ed teacher, I must have drawn 800 clocks in my life.
Second nature for you almost,
Teaching people how to use it, and I had to cheat on my watch to do the draw clock. So thank God I'm old and I still wear a watch. But and I mentioned to the doctor, he says, oh, don't worry about it, you're fine, you're fine. And I'm like, but I don't feel fine. Well, 2 years later, I got a different doctor, and this doctor listened to me.
You advocated for yourself.
Yes, she listened to me, and she sent me to a geriatrician who did much more extensive tests on me, and she decided that I did have, and do have at this time, mild cognitive impairment. But the cause of it was unknown, so we did a lot of tests. I was pretty happy to get the mild cognitive diagnosis because I knew that something was wrong, and it validated what I felt in my heart. But when the test results came back with Alzheimer's disease, I was devastated.
But I have to say, just chatting with you for this short time here, you're so brave, and I think you're helping a lot of people by talking about your diagnosis and letting people know that it's okay and you can still live life.
And that is exactly my point.
Absolutely.
Like any other major trauma, it took a little while. But through the help, my doctor fortunately referred me to Alzheimer's Association.
Which is wonderful.
And also to Live Well, which is a local, business that works
in Southington. They do great work.
They do great work.
Wonderful resources there, and I understand more resources coming from the Alzheimer's Association on Friday, January 31st. Quickly.
It's a big event, and we're going to talk to people just like Christine, living with the disease, plus talk to a doctor about tips and strategies to really just embrace, you know, the new medications that she's on, all the different things that we have available. So we're so proud that Christine shares her story.
Yes, thank you.
We're excited about this event, so please sign up.
Details on WTNH.com. Thank you both so much.
Oh, you're welcome.